that was called upon at that time to change the Bahamas. Now, 70 years later, a new generation has stepped up to reclaim their place in this country. But let me be clear when I say a new generation. I'm not just referring to the date on your birth certificate, but I'm referring to the approach on life, a quality of mind and a quality of heart. And it would take great Bahamians like me and you to change this country. We need people like you who are daring in nature, energetic, enthusiastic, and resilient to step up and step now for the PLP. When I think about this convention's theme, building on progress, driving new change, I can't help but look at the progress happening right before our eyes. We are now leading global discussions on climate change, renewable energy, and biotechnology to reshape industries to solve global problems. And it takes bold, innovative leadership to steer the ship. Leadership not afraid to make tough decisions. Leadership with enough humility to consider the impact every decision would have on this great nation. PLP is the change needed to move our country forward is here. As a millennial, it gives me pride to see the investment that our Prime Minister and his cabinet has invested in young people. Young entrepreneurs are now able to operate and own businesses that were neglected for so many years. The Bahamas Development Bank has successfully rebranded and have been able to be approved for $30 million in capitalization for funds used for Bahamian-owned businesses. Time and time again, the PLP have proven to the people that we are the party for the people and for all Bahamians. The Bahamas, we shaped this country to the best in the region. And if you don't believe me, check our track record. Independence, the implementation of NIB, the establishment of the Bahamas Development Bank, the transition from COB to the University of the Bahamas, National Health Insurance, Urban Renewal, and the National Training Agency. I can go on and on and on, but PLPs, the facts are the facts. When you think about progress and transformation, the history of the PLP remains solid and remains strong. But here we now, 2 years into governance, and we are staying true to what it means to be PLP. As we move forward, we won't leave any of our brothers and sisters left behind. We won't leave you Mount Moriah. We won't leave you Carmichael. We won't leave you Ingliston. We won't leave you Exuma. We won't leave you Cat Island. And we definitely won't leave you in Michael. The late, great Obadiah Hercules Wilcombe once said, now is the time for the PLP and all PLPs to reacquaint themselves with the core values of our party, which are to heal the sick, feed the poor, guide the youth, and bring joy to every single heart. Obi loved the PLP because he understood the meaning and true essence of this party. We must continue his great legacy and ensure that we are victorious in the by-election. Consider this a warning, FNMs. We ready and ain't long now before we come for our things in West Grand Bahama and Bimini.
Bring the water out the torch. Tell the FNM we can't take it no more.
I would say this in closing, PLPs. Let us remember that we are a team and we are a family. And as a family, we can never, ever be defeated. In the good book it said in Psalm chapter 133, verse 1, how good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. PLP! PLP! PLP!
Oh, come on now! PLPs, are you out there? PLPs, are you out there? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. I will do a little station identification. Do I get any PLPs from the Eastern District out here? Anyone from Fox Hill out here? Anyone from Yamacraw out there?
Right, we are well on into our speeches tonight. First speech of the night, our Sasha Lightbourne is standing by live on the floor following Quinton Lightbourne's speech. Sasha?
Hi, Jerome. Yes, we are here with the Member of Parliament for Elizabeth, Ms. Jobeth Colby-Davis. Now, she's actually expected to speak tomorrow. But first, Mrs. Colby-Davis, tell us how the first day has gone so far in here.
First day was really good. It was exciting. We can feel the energy. We see our Family Island delegates. We see our stalwarts. Everyone's excited to be here. We come together. It's a family reunion, and so I'm feeling it. I'm happy. I'm very proud of the PLP.
Now, Mrs. Colby-Davis, you're expected to speak tomorrow. What could we expect from that speech coming from you on the floor?
Well, my speech is going to speak a little... My speech is going to speak a little bit about my portfolio, energy, what you expect to see coming out of the energy portfolio, and then some encouragement to the party and our supporters.
All right, Jerome, there you heard it. From the Minister of Energy and Transport, Jobeth Colby-Davis, we'll turn it back over to you.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If there's ever an opportunity for a segue, this is it. You talk about the Minister of Energy. On that stage behind me is lots of energy. The Member of Parliament for Seabreeze, Leslie Miller-Bryce, Her Excellency, Ambassador Miller-Bryce is about to take the stage. She is really a popular figure in the party now.
Very, very popular. As you can see, she brings a lot of energy. She has spearheaded a lot of our national celebrations, serving as chair of the Independence Secretariat, and really executed a fabulous celebration.
And a second generation PLP. Her father, of course, yes. Leslie Miller. Yes. We take you now to the stage.
Standing on the protocol established, PLPs, Bahamians everywhere, good evening. When the sun rises and lights up every dark place on earth, it's a new day. When the birds start singing songs of praise and the flowers open and bloom, it's a new day. A new day brings new life, new hope, new possibilities to build dreams, accomplish goals, and renew the soul. A new day brings a fresh perspective and brand new energy. A new day creates the pathway for the farmer to yield more, the straw vendor to sell more, and our young people to aspire to achieve more. The new day is a very important time. It's when everything comes alive. When you have a record 8 million tourists visiting our country in 1 year, it's a new day.
Hey, PLP is teach people party.
When you have investments on tap, unemployment rates dropping, an increase in young Bahamians going to college, and a slate of legislation that will improve the lives of Bahamians all around, it's a new day. For the past 2 years, I've had the opportunity to lead the efforts in celebrating our nation's 50th independence. It's been a rewarding experience as we reflected on the road to independence. We celebrated our nation's achievements and reignited a sense of pride among Bahamians everywhere. From Bimini in the north to Inagua in the south, Bahamians abroad and Bahamians right here at home. We celebrated, and I am honored to have been a part of such a significant celebration. Now, this weekend, we celebrate the significant contributions of the Progressive Liberal Party to the Bahamas for over 7 decades. When we tally the list, and if possible, if we check it twice, it is clear that the best of our nation, the contributions we shout the loudest, are due to the formidable leadership of the Progressive Liberal Party. Sir Lyndon Oscar Pinling, the pioneer, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, the visionary, and now the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, the builder. Your leadership and wider leadership of this great party is interwoven into our nation's history, legacy, and future. At the opening of Parliament, we set the reset button, and it's time to build. Build on progress, build up our people and drive new change. To my parliamentary colleagues and PLPs everywhere, it's time for boots on the ground. We have to just as eagerly and feverishly go out and connect with the people and tell them what we are doing. See how eagerly we asked for their vote 2 years ago? We've got to be just as active asking for their ongoing support and just as active in listening to them, providing assistance and meeting their needs.
The Progressive Liberal Party.
PLP marching on to victory. When you go and sit with them, when you go and you knock on their doors, here's 3 steps. Firstly, listen. Hear our people out. Don't run from the fussing and don't hide from the complaints. When people tell you the problem, it means they are giving you a chance to fix it, to get it right. Hear them out and hear their heart. After you've listened, tell them the good news. Tell them the economy is recovering. Tourism is seeing historic numbers every day. GDP growth is evident. See, our naysayers could lie. Boy, they could lie, but numbers don't lie. Tell them that our students are back in the classrooms. Our teachers and administrators are improving outcomes, and our officials are searching high and low for every student so that no child get left behind. Tell them we know they are tired of the high BPL bills. That's why we are exploring alternative energy solutions, exploring long-term solutions. Tell them we are not about the quick fixes, but the long-term investment that will make a real positive impact on their lives. Tell them we are building. It takes time to build. It takes trust and competence. One thing I realized when we reflected on the road to independence is that what we are most proud of the nation was implemented over 25 years. This administration has only been given the opportunity to rebuild our nation in 25 months. With little over 25 months to go, tell them we are building and good things take time.
PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, so sad, so.
Just like when you select a contractor to build your home, you want someone who is experienced, someone brave and equipped. See our leader? He ain't no big talker, but he's a big doer. When you select a contractor, you want someone you can trust. You want someone who is competent to get the job done. And if there was ever a doubt, tell them that's the PLP.
The Progressive Liberal Party.
To my fellow colleagues and PLPs everywhere, let's ensure when we leave their doors, we don't leave as if the job is done. As a matter of fact, it's just getting started. When we came to their homes, when we leave their doors, it's get to work. Let's get to work. Let's build and let's build together. PLPs, as we get ready to build, don't forget your helmet. Protect your head as you continue to work in the trenches. Construct the bridges that unite. Tear down the walls that divide. Stay focused on the goal. Avoid the pitfalls. Follow the blueprint. Build well and build strong. Elevate the structure one block at a time. PLPs, don't forget your ladder. As you build and climb, don't forget to reach down and help others up. Remember, the same people you pass on the way up, you may have to pass on your way down. And finally, PLPs, don't forget your hammer. It's time to continue to hammer in unity, hammer in our strengths, and hammer in our commitment to wipe every tear from every eye. Isaiah 65, verse 21 to 22 says, "They will build houses and dwell in them. They will plant vineyards and eat their fruit. No longer will they build houses and others live in them, or plant and others eat. For as the days of a tree, so will the days of my people. My chosen ones will long enjoy the work of their hands." My Bahamian people, let's partner together and build on progress. It's our time to enjoy the work of our hands and the sweat of our brow. It's time to build on our party's legacy. It's time to build on our people. It's time to secure our nation's future. It's time to build. And my fellow Bahamians, you deserve builders that you can trust, that you can depend on, and builders who are going to build a nation that can stand the test of time. PLP! PLP! PLP!
All right, another young party leader, Her Excellency Miller Bryce, a woman, a second-generation PLP. The PLP certainly has promoted youth and women empowerment in a Leslia Miller Bryce, but something very poignant in her speech. She reminded the party to listen and to continue the work. And I think sometimes governments that are, or parties that are in government forget that when they are midterm.
And that is the point that she made over and over. I particularly like the point, and it got the most applause when she said, you know, those people you meet on the way up, you might meet them on the way down. So it's very, very important to stay in touch with them and demonstrate to them that you don't only come to them when you need their support, but throughout your term, you're coming to them to hear their problems and offer solutions.
You have sat as a member of parliament. How difficult is that when you're out there? Those constituents are coming and they have real problems that they want addressed.
Yes, and it's difficult, but you have to do it. You have the opportunity, you have your office hours, you're funded with a constituency office, and so it's incumbent upon members of parliament to have regular constituency hours where individuals can come and present their problems, and then you work as hard as you can to solve them.
No doubt, a tough job. I don't envy any member of parliament. We're about to hear from the incumbent party chairman, Fred Mitchell. We've seen support for Mitchell as chairman heading into tomorrow's vote, but there's been a bit of back and forth recently in the media with another senior member who wanted the position but has bowed out of the race. Is this just a part of what some may call party politics?
Well, what happens is at all conventions, all offices become vacant, and any member in good standing of the party has an opportunity to nominate. Of course, it would go much more smoothly if you didn't have to have elections, but that's our democratic process. Tomorrow, we will have the election between former deputy chair, who's vacated the deputy chairmanship, Robin Lyons, and Chairman Fred Mitchell. And we expect that, we've seen in the hall support for both candidates, and we expect that following the election tomorrow, we'll come together and be as one family once again.
We are going to the stage because we can't talk anymore with all the noise in here now. The main stage now, welcoming incumbent party chairman, the member of parliament for Fox Hill and foreign minister Fred Mitchell, one of the longest serving MPs in the party and longest serving ministers. We take you now to the stage.
F&M party. F&M party. F&M party. F&M party.
Great. So, oh, okay. So, PLP. PLP. Can't hear you. PLP. 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 So I hope that Michael Pintard is watching tonight and that he sees all his people in the room. And I hope that he's frightened out of his mind because we are going to beat him in West End and Bimini next week. Bigger and better than ever before. I have to start there because 2 weeks ago, I read in the press where Michael Pintard, the leader of the opposition, was trying to lecture the Prime Minister of the Bahamas and the leader of the Progressive Liberal Party on ethics. Now, ain't that something? I can say it again. The leader of the opposition, Michael Pintard, who had to resign as chairman of the Free National Movement because of ethics, wants to lecture the Prime Minister of the Bahamas on ethics. Ah, my. Things are really tough. And then someone was trying to send him a message. The former Prime Minister and former leader of the Free National Movement was quoted in the press as saying that he advised the now leader of the opposition not to run in West End and Bimini because he was sure to get beat, because the PLP is the government and there's no reason to switch in midstream 2 years into a term. What you gonna switch for? Because the F&M can't give you nothing. That was good advice. But here's the problem he faced. He's got the other Hubert waiting in the wings. So he's got the horns of a dilemma. If he runs and he loses, the other Hubert will say, Michael Pintard, you gotta go. And then, if he doesn't put a candidate in, the same Hubert, the other Hubert, is gonna say he's weak and he gotta go. So Michael Pintard couldn't make up his mind, and ultimately he cast his lot with running in the next election with a Free National Movement candidate who started out with the wonderful evocation that I'm a broke man, to the point where people had a song saying, we don't want no broke bishop, we don't want no broke bishop. That's what Michael Pintard is faced with. Am I? Such is the fate of the Free National Movement. But on this side, we're 2 years into a term, and we've done remarkably well. And
The Progressive Liberal Party.
And there's no reason to shift the ship of state at this point in time. No reason. You know, people say this or say that. But 2 years ago, remember this? A fellow would wake up out of bed in the morning and say, the food stores closed down 6 o'clock. And he had women standing on line running to the supermarket to get milk for their children before 6 o'clock in the evening.
My God.
That's what was happening 2 years ago. 2 years ago, a man was fined $750 for selling coconuts. $750.
Another man was fined $250 for going to the pump to collect water. That was 2 years ago. 2 years later, the economy is open. You're free to go outside in your yard. You're free to go to the food store. There are no shortages. There's food on the shelves. There's money in the bank, money in your pockets. The tourists are here in great numbers. Ain't God good?
Can you tell me who's in the building? PLP. Say who's in the building?
And who do we have to thank for that? Amen. Say it again, brother. Say it again, brother. We have a leader. His name is Philip Edward Brave Davis. And you know the man. And I keep telling people his pa gave him the name Brave. It's actually on the birth certificate. So don't miss it out when you call his name in the House of Assembly. Philip Edward Brave Davis. From Cat Island. And I think it was Tony McKay who said, Cat Island man is a little piece of... Amen. Mrs. Davis, I guess you can tell us that, right? Oh, boy. So he is the man who helped to bring the party to where it is today. Slowly, step by step, bringing the party and the country to where we have a stable situation. People are well off, wages are up, there's food on the table, tourists in the hotels. What more can you ask for? But there's much more work to be done. And today, I was outlining to folk what is actually happening in our country. You have the Minister of Works, who's just taken the seat, Clay Sweeting, is sitting in the front row. And he has, in the last week, sent out a raft of tenders. And the bridges and the roads in Eleuthera and Long Island and the airports, we'll start to build them step by step, and our people will be put to work. That's what Clay Sweeting is going to do. And who can forget the work which our Minister of Education is doing in the schools? Today, the children are back in school and learning their lessons. Our Minister of Health, what is he doing? Building 2 new hospitals and looking after the nation's wellness. Our Minister of Transport, JoBeth Colby Davis, is re-engineering the transport sector, reforming the energy sector, and more people than ever have taxi plates, livery plates, SD plates, tour cars. This is enhancing the economic wealth in the country. I said the tourism numbers are up. The investment numbers are up due to the work of Chester Cooper. The Environment Minister, Vaughan Miller, the Prime Minister are working for the fight on climate change. Our Sports Minister, Mario Boleg, has reinvigorated sports and culture.
Can you tell me who's in the building?
And Jobo Campbell has taken over the horn of agriculture. The Attorney General, Ryan Pinder, is keeping us on the straight and narrow. The public purse is being guarded by the Prime Minister's Minister of Finance and Mike Halkitis as Trade Minister. Keith Bell is doing a wonderful job in housing. Lisa Ramming is now fast at work in urban renewal and housing. And Pia Glover-Roll.
Can you tell me who's in the building? PLP. Say who's in the building?
She's captured the hearts and minds of the public service, chipping away every day at the list of those expecting to be permanent and pensionable. Immigration policy is now managed by Alfred Sears. Zane Lightman has now put his considerable talents to the environment. National Security Minister Wayne Munro is the chief crime fighter.
Can you tell me who's in the building?
Miles LaRota is the captain of our nation's poor and charged to ensure that they get a fair share. And then you've got Wayne Watson, who's wiring the community parks, Patricia DeVoe, the Iron Lady in the House of Assembly, Ambassador Leslie Miller, who you just spoke before me, gave a wonderful set of members.
Can you tell me who's in the building?
Leroy Major is our leader at BAIC. Ginger Moxie is cutting new ground in Grand Bahama.
Can you tell me who's in the building?
Basil McIntosh is leading the way in airport development in his support role at the Ministry of Tourism. And then, of course, you've got our parliamentary secretaries, board chairs, Mikhail Barnaby, Sylvanus Petty.
PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way.
John Pinder, Kirk Cornish, Bacchus Roll, Jamal Strawn, our senators, Barry Griffin, Quentin Lightman, Michelle Adderley, Kirk Russell, James Turner, Terrell Young, Eresia Hepburn, Darren Pickstock, Randy Roll, Ronald Duncombe. Each and every member is engaged in the business of people helping people. And I want this convention to stand and give them a rousing round of applause.
The PLP. Look at that, come on. PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, so sad, so PLP.
So, I'm proud to be part of this team. And tomorrow, God willing, we'll have the right result so that the team stays together and it's still, at the end of the night, PLP, PLP, PLP.
PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, so sad, so done. PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, so sad, so done.
All right, well, that was the incumbent party chairman, the member of parliament for Fox Hill, also the man who serves as the foreign minister for the country, Fred Mitchell. Now, Senator Halkitis, we know the party chairmanship race is the race to watch.
Yes.
Any thoughts on who may emerge victorious? We know that the Prime Minister has thrown his support behind Mitchell, but it's really up to the voting delegates.
Yes, it's up to the voting delegates, which are made up of the party officers, stalwart councillors, delegates. And in the recent revision to the party's constitution, the number of delegates coming from each branch was increased from 10 to 20, so it gives the branches an even bigger say in the convention. As you know, as you said, Minister Mitchell is the incumbent chairman, very experienced. I think he's done a wonderful job. Robin Lyons as well did a wonderful job as deputy, particularly in organizing and the branches. And so it's shaping up to be a race, perhaps for the incumbent to someone new, and so we're watching it. It seems as if a lot of people are holding their feelings close to their vest.
We are now witnessing on stage a memorial that I think is being done in tribute to the late Obie Wilson. We'll allow you now to listen into that.
Made exceptional contributions to the PLP and the Bahamas. And he was a broadcaster of the highest caliber, a formidable force in the House of Assembly, a member of Parliament so committed to his constituents that after a devastating hurricane, he hopped on a jet ski to help his people. And one day, just like that, he was gone. His mantra, one love. The Honorable Obadiah Wilshcombe.
Session this morning. We begin our coverage as many of you are just getting up now, and many of you I'm sure are making your way to downtown Nassau. What's expected to be the numbers
100. You know, I've been involved in the PLP since the age of 11. So I guess that brings me to like, I can't say the amount of years, but I've known Obi over the last, I think, 30 to 32 years. And we became best friends. He was like my brother, my confidant, and my mentor. And I think when I first met Obi was when I was working at the Broadcasting Corporation. I was assigned as a driver then to collect Mr. Wilshcombe from the airport. And I went to the international airport, and there came this, guess what I should say, this young man stepping over this big afro and his glasses on. So I said, oh, this is Obi right here.
I'm trying to remember, I think it was in the early 80s that I received a call from Sir Lyndon asking me whether I knew this young man by the name of Obi Wishka. I told him, I said, no. He said, well, you know, he said, I had an encounter with him. He said, and I think he's a young man that has tremendous potential. I said, tremendous potential in what? He said, well, he's in the area of broadcasting, and I think he has a tremendous, but I need for you to find out a little bit more about him, Charlie.
He came into the vehicle, and I introduced myself to him, and we talked, and he introduced himself to me. And on our way from the airport, we just had a conversation. I telling him who I am and how I got started at ZNS, and I just a driver for now. I told him, I said, I just a driver for now because I was told by Kendall Norris just to put my foot in the door to get in. So he said to me, he said, I could see you going places. And our conversation get on, he talked about politics, and we say, oh, we on the same page. We PLP just alike. So at that point in conversating with Obi, I saw in him that I said, boy, one day this gentleman, talented, going to be a politician. And so said, so done.
I had arranged a gathering with him, and he expressed to me his desire. He wanted to be in broadcasting, and the enthusiasm he showed. To Sir Lyndon, I said, yeah, I agree with you, you know, tremendous potential. And as time went on, our relationship, you know, came stronger and cemented.
Got to know Obi Wilshcombe from a very young boy. He and my mom were very close and worked closely together. And so growing up, it was quite an honor to be in the presence of someone who I had grown up respecting, understanding, appreciating.
Sir Lyndon Pinley made a determination to appoint me to become a board member of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. Obi Wilshcombe was an employee, a young, uprising, talented young man who we got to know was sufficiently close to Lyndon Oscar Pinley, the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, to be considered a political ally. That's how I got to know him.
He recruited me to start ZNS right away, and my very first real job was at ZNS under Obi as a news director. And you know, through the years, I always had this relationship with him where he was never fully satisfied. You know, at least that was my impression.
Oh, Jesus, Andrew, don't talk about it. Oh, Obi had some moods on him. And working with him, you had to, I mean, he was a good boss. I ain't gonna lie, that he was excellent. But when it comes to his work and you producing his stories and stuff, that's a different side Obi they would see.
It was always a B+. It was never A or A-. Even if it really was, he would never tell me that it was an A. And again, knowing him, he always did that so that I had something to shoot for.
But I was the only one, I believe, all the reporters used to send me in there to OB office to take their scripts, and he'd fling it back at me and say, Andre, tell him get it right. And OB was that's the kind of person who wanted to get the best out of you. And he pushed those reporters to get the best out of them. And I think he did an excellent job at that. You know, everybody knew what OB stand for, everybody knows politics, but when it comes, he was a professional. At the end of the day, when it comes to him producing his work and producing the stories that get on the air.
I have given all I can, and I will give my life to ensure that my people get what they want. So we don't want anybody who wants to fake it. We don't want anybody who's not serious about it. If you're not prepared to die for it, don't jump into the game. This is about serving the Bahamian people.
PLPs, are you out there?
All right, well, what a moving tribute there for the late Obie Wilstrom. Certainly an extraordinary man with a journalistic and political prowess that really helped to shape his legacy. His death obviously sending shockwaves through the country. Of course, his legacy had to be highlighted at a pivotal point in this convention. He certainly played a role in the party's conventions as well. It's kind of surreal being here tonight and he not being here and not being a part of it.
Exactly. He served as national chairman and he served as coordinator and chairman of many, many conventions, particularly when it came to the evening sessions, when the party has an opportunity to report to the Bahamian people. Obie often spoke about getting the message right so that the Bahamian people understood what we were doing and how what we were doing would make their lives better. And so he had a tremendous impact, as you can see from his former co-workers. And during the tributes, during the past 3 weeks, we learned how, from a young boy who wanted to be a broadcaster, and moving from broadcasting to politician, eventually minister.
Part of being a good broadcaster is to know when to read the room.
Yes.
And right now, the mood in the room has shifted as we prepare for the first big entertainer of the night. His song became very popular and synonymous in many ways with the 50th anniversary. Please now let's welcome to the stage Elkin 360.
Let's go! Give me the cherry right now. Say what? Give me the sweet right now. Say what? I want it right now. Give me right now. Come blow my horn till the early morn. I'll turn you around before it's done. A little piece is all I need. Let's have fun under the sheet. I may sound crazy, but I'm not lazy. I'll do it again, just tell me when. Call the police! Call the police if I'm no good. You know I'm from the neighborhood. Give me the sweet thing right now. Let's go! Give me the cherry right now. Come give me the
One, get ready.
Right
Two, get ready.
Right.
1, 2,
Right.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Now so in the capital of the Bahamas. Pull it up, pull it up. PLP. PLP. Let's go down so it's the capital.
Let's go. 1,
Let's go, Brad.
2,
In the
1,
PLP.
2, 3, let's go.
Now so it's the capital of the Bahamas. Woo. Bimini is the gateway. Let's go. 1492, Columbus landed. 1973, we were free. From Nassau to Inagua. Let's go. From Freeport to Maguana. Tourists love our country, Bahamas. 700 islands, Bahamas. Happy independent. Let's go. Happy anniversary, Bahamas. Happy independence, Bahamas. Golden anniversary, Bahamas.
Sing, baby.
We got it in Exuma, Bahamas. Let's go. In Long Island, Bahamas. Sailing on the mailboat, Bahamas. Guys and rock investing, Bahamas. Peace and rice and fried fish, Bahamas. Wine idol from the Putra, Bahamas. Flamingo from Inagua, Bahamas. That island side Rica's great, Bahamas.
Everybody sing, sing.
Happy independence, Bahamas. Let's go. Happy anniversary, Bahamas. Woo. Happy independence, Bahamas. Let's go. Happy anniversary, Bahamas.
Break it down, break it down.
Nassau is the capital. Bimini is the gateway. Let's go. Choco no pastry. Bahamas, let's go. Choco 1 and 2 Bahamas. Say what? It gon' be good today, Bahamas. Come solid on the weekend, Bahamas. Catching on with our night, Bahamas. Let's go, 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 go PLP, go PLP, go PLP, go, 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 hands up, hands up, hands up, go brave, go brave, go, 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 go. Happy Independence, Bahamas. Happy anniversary, Bahamas. Let's go. Happy Independence, Bahamas. Golden anniversary, Bahamas. Thank you. PLP! PLP!
I know y'all didn't want to stop. Bimini is the gateway. And PLPs, if you have love for Obi, make some noise. Now, Deputy Leader, if my memory serves me correct, about a week ago you were in West End at a rally, and you reminded us that the Bible said to touch not God's anointed. That's what you said. But PLPs, I must rest this right here. The F&M candidate for West, Grand Bahama, and Bimini, let's call him Bishop.
All right, we saw there that performance from Elkin 360. What a time for the crowd at tonight's convention. You can't have a convention without good entertainment.
You can't have a convention without good entertainment, and he's one of the best, and the story is one of the best. I remember when he went on television to say that he didn't even make the cut.
Yeah.
And then now you'd be hard pressed to find who actually won the contest.
He had the song
Yes.
for the 50th anniversary, all right?
Yes.
And certainly what better way to prepare for our next speech. For another female who has emerged from within the bowels of the party, coming up as a young liberal who worked hard within the party behind the scenes for many years. She emerged as a candidate in the last election, went on to win, went on to be a junior minister, and in the shuffle became a substantive minister within this cabinet. You know, a success story unto itself, just her journey.
Yes, and well deserved. In the recent reallocation, the promotion herself, along with Minister Jomo Campbell, from the very first, hit the ground running, made an impact, attacked the portfolio with passion, was effective, and well deserved.
All right.
Oh, this looks like Kingsley Smith.
Instead, we've got a change in the program.
Yeah.
Up now, Mr. Kingsley Smith. He's the candidate for the upcoming by-election for West End and Bimini.
Yes.
He, of course, just nominated last week.
Yes.
And next week will be the advance poll, followed by the actual election on the 22nd. So this is the country's first time hearing him.
Yes.
In this particular forum, in this way, and to be a by-election candidate and have a national stage.
Oh, yeah, a national stage. The first time the country at large will be able to hear him. And Jerome, running in a by-election, running in a general election, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of work, a lot of scrutiny. Running in a by-election when it's the only election that's the nation is focusing on.
This is
a lot
a
of pressure.
litmus test in many ways for the government. So he's carrying a heavy burden running as the candidate in this election. So now let's listen in as the country gets an opportunity to hear from the party standard bearer in the upcoming by-election.
PLP. Standing on established protocol. Party leader. Deputy party leader. Mr. Chairman, party officers, stalwart councillors, party officers, good evening. I am deeply humble and grateful to stand before you tonight as your candidate in the upcoming by-election in West, Grand Bahama, and Bimini.
We ready now.
My message is one of thanks and hope. Thank you for the embrace of our PLP family, which has the warmth and wisdom of 70 years of a great history. Thank you all, party members and supporters, who have carried me along this journey so far. And thank you to the people of West Grand Bahama and Bimini who have rallied behind our message and our campaign. To be a part of this progressive liberal party movement is to be a part of history. And to be a part of this progressive liberal party movement is also to be a part of the great future of our nation. This is the party that built every single major institution in the Bahamas. And this New Day administration now carries the baton to continue to build and secure our national development. That visionary line runs from the father of our nation, Sir Lyndon Oscar Pinland, right through to our Prime Minister and leader of our party, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis.
Family, amazing family.
The PLP was founded to bring about fundamental change. The PLP was founded to overthrow the shackles of political and economic oppression. The PLP was founded to bring about opportunities and remove the obstacles that stand in the way of ordinary Bahamians. I am deeply honored to be a part of this tradition, and I commit to do all that I can to continue to build on the progress of the past. And so, the plans I have put forward in our campaign will build on the efforts begun by the late Honorable Obadiah Wilshcombe.
PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, so said, so done.
And our plans will also go further to bring greater support and opportunity to the people of West Grand Bahama and Bimini. We're completing the new government complex in 8 Mile Rock, and we're naming it for Obi. And we've just signed a management agreement for the new airport in Bimini. And there's more. Our New Day government is committed to building a new school in Holmes Rock, repairing and building more affordable homes, building new seawalls to keep people safe from hurricanes. And this fits into our national plans too. Bring down the cost of living, bring down crime, increase the number of available jobs, expand the opportunities for building wealth, and invest in better education and good health for the Bahamian people. PLPs, I know that our communities need because I'm a part of them. And the years I have spent coaching and mentoring young people through sports has shown me what compassionate leadership can do. And so tonight, this boy from Boodle Bay says thank you. Together, we will secure even greater progress for our party, our country, and the Bahamian people. God bless you. PLPs! 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 Thank you.
PLP, PLP, PLP. We going straight through with the PLP.
Give it up for our next member of parliament, Kingsley Smith. And now coming to the stage, we have our youngest member of parliament. Nassau Village is stronger because of him.
All right, so an opportunity for your candidate to speak nationally. From a party perspective, how do you feel going into this by-election?
We feel very good. Of course, it was a shock to lose Obi, who had a tremendous connection to the community, having served them for many years, and so we feel very, very good about Kingsley Smith. Again, coming from the West Grand Bahama community, a large family, well connected, and a hard worker. And so he was able to share with us this evening some of the plans that he has. He reiterated that he is from the community, and so we feel very, very good about him as a candidate.
We are now preparing for our next speech of the night. Another young MP elected for the party in the last election, Nassau Village MP Jamal Strong.
Yes, another young MP serving as parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. A very committed, passionate young man, passionate about his constituents. I think he has a bright future.
Listen, that's not an easy constituency, so you got to have a lot of passion. We take you now to the stage for Nassau Village MP Jamal Strong.
I said I'm truly honored to stand on the shoulders of giants. 70 years ago, 70 years, my brothers and sisters, our great movement began. And as our great party chairman, Sir Henry Milton Taylor, wrote a few years later, and I must always reflect on these words: no organization in history, no organization in history of the Bahamas has captured the imagination and lit a flame in the hearts of the people like the Progressive Liberal Party.
PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, so sad.
And now, just 70 years later, I am granted the honor, no, the privilege to stand before you this August 40, addressing the PLP convention for the first time as the proud representative of the great constituency of Nassau Village.
PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way.
I didn't quite hear you, Nassau Village. Is Nassau Village in the house? Is Nassau Village in the house? That's right, that's right. The people of Nassau Village always show up. We show up for our friends, we show up for our neighbors, and we show up for our country. We show up for our party, and we show up for our leader, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis.
The Progressive Liberal Party. PLP, marching on to victory.
We see what he has done for us PLPs. We see what he has done for the Bahamas. We see what he has done for us internationally. And we have his back, PLPs. We have his back, PLPs. And we'll show up as he needs us to. We all must play our parts in creating the best kind of future for our nation. Like the rest of the country, the people of Nassau Village has suffered under the former F&M administration. Do you know what our last representative did for us? Do you know what our last representative did for us? We have two bright, shiny red pumps. In the 21st century, he thought it fit to give us hand pumps, Nassau Village. Nassau Village, that's what they thought we deserved. Nassau Village, that's what they thought was progress. They blamed the hurricane for their lack of compassion. They blamed the pandemic for their corruption. PLPs, do you remember shopping in alphabetical order? Do you remember being locked down and having two sidewalks constructed next to each other?
My God.
That's the legacy of the F&M. That's what they left us, and we will not forget it. And that's why from day one, PLPs, we went to work implementing the plans of the Blueprint for Change. That's why we've been working hard to clean up every community nationally, discouraging crime, and providing better opportunities for the young, providing opportunities for the old, being a truly inclusive government being a truly inclusive party. We're making good progress on both the small and the things that affect us day to day. Nassau Village, have you seen the construction of your new community center? That's what we call progress. Soldier Road, have you seen the construction of your new sporting facility? That's what we call progress. We have continued to work for each and every Nassau villager. We have dealt with the issues that have been plaguing our communities for years. We have sought to the smaller things, cutting down trees, ensuring verges were cleared, clearing lots. Seabreeze, your lights are coming. No need to worry. We have not forgotten about you. We have constructed the Alexandria Boulevard, and we will keep going. But our proudest achievement was the installation of the greenhouses in the schools. It shows our investment in education. It shows our investment in our children. Friends, while I am still at the early stages in my political career, my mission couldn't be much clearer. For it is now, as it was 70 years ago, I will continue to dedicate myself to helping the people of my community, to serving the people of the Bahamas. I will continue to show up to help build progress. I will continue to help drive change, the kind of change that we need to see over the next 70 years. I will continue to do it the PLP way. Then, as it was then, it is now PLP, 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 no other way.
I'm moving everywhere with me.
Nassau Village MP Jamal Strong. It's interesting to see the amount of young leaders and female leadership. Is this a strategic push for the party?
It is. Our leader, the Prime Minister, believes in mentorship, and he believes in giving young people a chance and giving them the work to do, giving them the responsibility. We saw, again, in the mini shuffle of the cabinet, our next speaker who is coming up, he was the Minister of State in the Ministry of Legal Affairs. He was promoted to a full minister as a reward for his efforts, his dedication, and his hard work. Again, a young man in a traditional Progressive Liberal Party seat. I think he has a bright future as well.
It's interesting that he represents Centerville.
Yes.
And I remember when the former representative of Centerville, party leader at the time, former Prime Minister Perry Christie, talked about the bridge to the future.
Yes.
And he, in many ways, is that bridge to the future.
Exactly. And so, we have a representative in Jomo Campbell that hit the ground running. See the testimonials here from his people. He has, been in contact. He's tremendous outreach programs all throughout the year. And so he has really demonstrated in these 2 years what a caring member of Parliament should be all about.
Again, tonight's theme really is about the progress, the accomplishments of the party in government in the past 2 years. And you hear that resonating in the speeches when they talk about what's been done.
Yes. First job was to make sure that we could keep our people safe from COVID and open the economy safely. We've done that. We've seen the strength of the tourism economy. We've seen it manifest itself in the reduction in unemployment.
I'm going to have to stop you now right there. We're going to take you now to the podium as Jomo Campbell, he's the sitting member of Parliament for Centerville, takes the stage.
Parliamentarians, party officers, stalwart councillors, fellow delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Bahamians everywhere, good evening. PLPs, let me hear you. I stand before you tonight grateful to the Almighty God and to all of you for welcoming me into the fold of the Progressive Liberal Party. As a newcomer, to frontline politics. I stand before you tonight as we celebrate 70 years as the best and most accomplished political organization in the history of this country.
PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way.
Understanding that great men and women have dedicated their lives to our party and its causes, I stand before you tonight, PLP and proud. Are you proud to be PLP?
PLP, all the way.
Since its inception, the PLP has been on the front lines to stamp out injustice, disenfranchisement, and poverty in our country. The PLP has done more for Bahamians and the Bahamian people than any other political party in the history of the Bahamas. And the proof is there for all to see. National insurance, PLP. Independence, PLP. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Mortgage Corp, BDB, National Health Insurance, Linden Penland Airport, BAMSI, College of the Bahamas, the University of the Bahamas, and the list goes on and on.
PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, so sad.
Now, there are those who wish to make you feel that this organization is past its prime. Let them know that we are just getting started, baby. Tonight, I must thank all the beautiful, good people from Centerville for giving me the opportunity to serve as their representative. Thus far, I have had the privilege to celebrate special occasions such as Christmas, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, and back to school with my constituents. My team and I have visited and interacted with staff, teachers, and students of the various schools in the community, providing breakfast and lunch at times. With the assistance of corporate citizens, we have been able to purchase a new vehicle for the Centerville Neighborhood Watch, donate grocery items to those in need, and sponsor positive events and initiatives geared towards the positive upliftment of our constituents. We have hosted our annual Harvest of Love event, where we provide free healthy food items for the disabled and senior citizens. And tonight, I am delighted to announce that plans are now underway for the construction of a much-needed state-of-the-art community center. We have accomplished much in a short time that we've been together, and rest assured, Centerville and the PLP will be staying together.
Progressive Liberal Party, PLP, marching on to victory.
On this, our Platinum Jubilee, I wish to pay homage to former party leader, the first Prime Minister and father of the nation, the late Lyndon Oscar Pinling, by quoting his final address to Parliament, in which he said, "Leaders, we must not forget, do not make themselves. They are made instead by the people they lead, by the people who believe in them, and by the people who are prepared to follow them. Not out of fear, or because it might be the end thing to do, or because of some hypnotic spell, but because deep down, PLP, there's a faith that moves them to lift us up to new heights, above their own, in the hope that from the lofty perch to which they have raised us, we can see what they cannot see. And that having seen, we as their leaders can point the way into the tomorrows that awaits us all." In keeping with these words, the PLP, under this administration, under the leadership of the Honorable Philip, and they said Brave Davis, is continuing to build on our party's great legacy of progress. When this administration came to power in 2021, we met people locked down in their homes, some unemployed, some underemployed. But today, we have the lowest unemployment rate in 15 years. When we came to office, hotels were closed, no cruise ships were in the harbors, and Bay Street and retail stores were empty. Today, we have recorded the most tourist arrivals in history. And as per our DPM, that number grows every single day.
Can you tell me who's in the building? PLP.
This administration, in 2 short years, has also raised the minimum wage. We have expanded concessions for first-time home buyers, installed free Wi-Fi on parks and community spaces in New Providence and throughout the family of islands. We have made historic investments in agriculture and food security, making it sexy again. This administration has provided new vehicles and equipment for the Royal Bahamas Police Force. We have launched the National Youth Guard. We have also expanded the availability of government services in the family islands, such as the opening of the passport office in Cat Island and the government complex in Bimini, Bahamas. This is but a small sampling of what has been done by this Davis Cooper-led administration. The naysayers and conspiracy theorists would have you to believe that nothing is happening for you. Tell them, for me, keep watching as we work, and you, the people, benefit.
Can you tell me who's in the building?
I would like to thank the Prime Minister for the confidence he has placed in me to lead the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources. A strong foundation has been laid in furtherance of our commitment to improving food security and lowering our food import bill. These items were prominently placed in the last budget communication, where the Prime Minister foreshadowed the planned expansion of BAMSI, as well as the establishment of an Agriculture Administration Cadet Program. And in the coming weeks and months, you will see the fruits of our labor as we continue our programs and support backyard farming ventures and farming in general across the country. We will begin construction of a new feed mill on Gladstone Road and open the cultivation center early in the new year. To demonstrate farming as a viable career option to our young people, we have been visiting schools, participating in tree plantings, and assisting with vegetable garden upkeep. Our plans are to work with interested young people in creating business plans and accessing capital for their agriculture and marine-related projects. We are indeed off to a great start. Now, as I leave you tonight, I again quote the Right Honorable Sir Lyndon Oscar Pinling, who spoke to a gathering just like this at our 18th National Convention, in which he said, "We have planned successfully to get to the top, and now we are at the top. We must plan to stay on top, for it does not happen automatically. To stay on top, this party must find new causes to champion and new social injustices to eradicate. And we must champion those causes and eradicate those injustices, even if we discover them amongst ourselves. We must plan to remain on top, PLPs. We must continue to serve our people with unwavering strength, love, and integrity. After 70 years of progress, this country still needs the PLP. The Bahamian people need the PLP. God bless the PLP, and God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. PLP! PLP! PLP!
And that was Sanibel MP Jomo Campbell, a bridge in the gap, a bridge to the future, if I could borrow a phrase. We heard him speak about the numerous accomplishments. He referenced the party's blueprint for change, which speaks to every pillar of national development. He told us about the lowest unemployment rate in the history of the Bahamas, record-breaking tourist arrivals, an increase in minimum wage. Is the party convinced these accomplishments puts it on good political footing with supporters and the wider electorate?
I think it does, but I think there's also a recognition that there is a lot of work left to be done. As I was saying before we went to the break, the economy is on a good track. We see unemployment down, but we recognize that there's a lot of work to be done. I liked how Mr. Campbell spoke about the initiatives that he's continuing and initiating in the Ministry of Agriculture, particularly as it comes to encouraging young people to see agriculture as a career. Because one of the main issues, and when we speak about a lot of work left to be done, one of the main issues facing Bahamian people is the cost of living, particularly the cost of food, imported food. And the way that we tackle that is to grow more of what we consume, we reduce the amount that we're importing, and so we sort of combat some of that inflation. And so, yes, we think we're in good stead, but this is an opportunity to report to the people, to hear from the delegates who are in the communities, recognize that there's work to be done, listen to what the people are saying so that we can react.
One of the interesting things I found, particularly with this cabinet shuffle, was the Prime Minister took a Jomo Campbell, a young fellow, very vibrant, coming from legal affairs, and put him in agriculture. And a ministry, and not to disrespect any previous minister, but a ministry that was not necessarily given to a younger, vibrant, up-and-coming minister.
I think what happened is, in his time, in his 2 years as Minister of State in the Ministry of Legal Affairs, Mr. Campbell demonstrated his passion, his industry, his hard work, his acumen, his competence. And when we're talking about promoting agriculture and expanding agriculture, the perfect fit, someone who will grab it and run with it.
All right, well, we're going to have to leave it right there. Loose me!
Yes.
Let me go. You think supporters are loose enough tonight? Well, we're going to go to the stage now for a performance by local Bahamian sensation, DCLS.
Soldiers gone, long time passing. Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the soldiers gone? Gone to that graveyard, everyone say. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? On the floor, on the floor. Local ex, I'm calling, harassing me night and day. But my paycheck, it don't add up. It don't add up. Relationship shaky, all you do is talk, say it's right. An action on zero, a resolution inside. Always out there sleeping, I'm at home late at night. Not done knowing about the phone. You go, I'm tired. PLPs, I'm tired. Stressing and fussing, and working and hustling, and lying and cheating. The right now still keeping, and sneaking and hiding. The wolf is lying, and children are crying. The
I'm so eager to bring up our next presenter. It's like almost every month there's a new agreement under her. I would like to bring to the stage right now the Golden Girl from Golden Gates, Minister Pia.
We are now well into the second hour of our broadcast tonight. If you happen to be just joining us, you're watching continuing coverage of the Progressive Liberal Party 55th National Convention from the Baha Resort. Bahamian entertainer Nisi Ellis leaving the stage, but we've just got more. We've got one more performance tonight from Bahamian legend D-Mac coming a bit later. Already we've heard from a number of senior party members and members of government, but we're expecting some more pivotal speeches tonight, including Golden Gates MP and Minister of Labor and the Public Service, Pia Glover-Roll. We spoke to her a little earlier on in the broadcast. She'll be followed by Angliston MP and and Education Minister Glenys Hanna-Martin. Exuma MP and Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper expected to round out tonight. Now the energy in the room is undeniable. What better way to prepare for the next speech from another female leader in the party, the MP for Golden Gates, Minister for Public Service, Pia Glover-Roll. We're going to go to the main stage in just a second, but a very dynamic minister, very dynamic speaker.
Very, very dynamic, very aggressive, very focused, very competent. She went into the Ministry of the Public Service as Minister of State. Again, during the cabinet shuffle, she was elevated to Minister of Labor and the Public Service, and she continues to bring a lot of passion and dedication to that portfolio. Very confident, very competent, and very
And
excited,
we're
and
gonna
brings
go-
a lot of energy.
Go and listen to her right now, the MP for Golden Gates, Public Service Minister Pia Glover.
Lady Davis, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister and Mrs. Cooper, my cabinet and parliamentary colleagues, to the stalwarts of the Progressive Liberal Party!
Can you tell me who's in the building? PLP. Say who's in the building?
Golden Gates, Golden Gates, Golden Gates, I love you. It is an honor and a privilege to serve you, Golden Gates. PLPs, PLPs. You know, we waited for a while for this convention. And I saw stalwarts today who was saying, I'm so excited to be in convention. So I understand the energy in the room. I give God, the Almighty God, all the glory and all the honor. I am very proud to be standing here this evening, and I am extremely humbled at our Prime Minister's choosing me to serve in his cabinet. I don't take that for granted, and I thank you, Honorable Prime Minister. PLPs, when we see the Bahamas today, compared to the Bahamas when we took office in 2021, is amazing what a PLP-led administration can make happen. Let me tell y'all something. All of the people who came before me, they spoke about all the issues of shopping in alphabetical order. What a nightmare that was. Being locked up for going to the pump. Being locked up and fined for selling coconut water. What a time. But things are better under the PLP. For instance, this year, we will have over 8 million tourist arrivals, record numbers.
PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way.
Unemployment is at its lowest since 2008, and I can tell you this, it's still dropping. This is the kind of progress that people can feel. Progress that puts food on the table and money in people's pockets. This is our recovery phase, so this is just the beginning. And we still have a lot of work ahead to do, PLPs. So we must stay focused. But I can tell you this, we are building on the progress that we have made in the last 2 years.
PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, so sad, so done.
Well, I don't need to tell y'all how proud I am to say that the PLP government has delivered for the public servants in a big way.
PLP, all the way.
Right now, we are rolling out our first public service-wide promotional exercise in over 8 years. That, PLPs, is an extra $6 million in the pockets of public servants. We partnered with local unions. We partnered with local unions to sign 24 new union agreements in 24 months, a record that no other government can claim. That encompasses a number of public servants, teachers, nurses, uniformed branches, who sacrifice every day to serve our country, getting higher pay, better insurance coverage, thanks to the PLP. Thousands of public servants, PLPs, throughout the government have benefited from the historic progress that we have made. Now, I can tell you, and you've seen it, there's some who will nitpick at everything we do. But I'll tell you this, if you give them double promotions, you got the people out there who say, well, we should have given them triple. Meanwhile, they did nothing. But look here, PLPs. Don't get caught up in the cynicism. Don't get caught up in the negativity. The work was a mammoth one and continues to be a mammoth one. And we are making progress, and we are certain that we are moving our nation forward and in the right direction.
All day is PLP, forget about them haters.
We increased government pensions in 1 year. Now we're working closely with my colleague, Minister Halkitis, and our Attorney General in crafting and launching a contributory pension that will benefit public servants and improve the conditions for our public servants. Even if they decide to leave government, they will be able to take that pension with them. Listen, PLPs, why don't you just ask the 20,000 plus public servants across the nation about this PLP government? They'll tell you that they've never seen the public service given this much attention.
My God.
And definitely not under the FNM. The FNM did nothing for public servants. The FNM did nothing for Bahamians. They had a whole lot of excuses to the people who time they said it was. PLP, we don't make excuses. We make things happen. My colleague from Central and South Eleuthera say, just results. Just results. Now, PLPs, our goal is to get even more Bahamians working. So we're launching job fairs. We are investing in training like never before. So we have the National Training Agency, where we have the Workforce Readiness Program, we have ILM Bahamas, and the NTA is an initiative that is a PLP initiative that is changing lives. We have the new National Apprenticeship Program that we are launching and will help our people to build new careers. It will transform lives and shift the culture of the workforce of this nation. But we don't just want Bahamians working. We want Bahamians to be able to have quality opportunities where they can achieve growth. Upcoming in the Department of Labor is our Notice of Vacancy Policy Unit, where we will ensure that every role that a non-Bahamian has, there will be a Bahamian understudy, identified, actively trained, monitored, assessed, and the ability for them to assimilate into those roles. PLP, we, the PLP, introduced Bahamianization many years ago to give Bahamians a fair chance in the labor market of our country. And I can tell you this, the PLP is stepping up once again to secure opportunities for Bahamians. Ain't no stopping us now. We just getting started. But thankfully, we have a brave leader with a vision to build a better Bahamas. We have a sharp deputy leader who supports our leader with excellence. And we have a strong and united team. You see, PLPs, there is no political force in the country stronger than a unified, progressive, liberal party. Kingy, you know what I could tell? What the fella's name you could beat? Ricardo Grant, and I could tell Pintard. that in just a couple of weeks, they can see what the PLP is all about. My colleague, MP Bonamy, said earlier today, the PLP isn't a party. It's not just a party, it's a philosophy. I say it's a movement. We represent the values and the beliefs of the people. For the PLP, it's always about the people. And the people need us to continue to work for them. So PLPs, that is why we must come out of this convention with a renewed focus to keep building on the progress we've made to deliver new, real, transformative, impactful change for the Bahamian people. PLPs, all is well. Bahamas, all is well. And it's only getting better for the people. Because the only party that will deliver progress to the people, for the people, is the PLP. PLP! PLP! PLP!
We ready now. The Progressive Liberal Party.
And what a speech tonight from the MP for Golden Gates, Minister for Public Service and Labour, Pia Glover Roll. But before we get to what she presented tonight, I want to go to the floor to hear from supporters. Our Jasmine Brown, who was on the broadcast tonight, joins me now from the convention floor. Jasmine?
Jerome, I'm here with one of the PLP supporters, Mr. Kelsey Monroe, and I was asking him off camera about this particular convention. Now, Mr. Monroe, how does this convention compare to ones you've attended in the past?
This particular convention is more lit. We have a lot going on. We have new member of parliaments in this particular convention, and it shows that it's really a new day with the member of parliaments that we have, and they are very, very, very lit.
And I noticed that there are a lot of young faces in the crowd. There are young faces on the stage. How do you think that bodes for the party?
Well, it shows that the party has already bridged the gap from the old to the young, and those persons who we have now as young member of parliament are very progressive.
What are you most proud of as a supporter here tonight?
I'm proud of the fact that we are now having this convention. It shows that it enlightens the spirit of democracy, and it is in line with our constitution to have a convention.
Thank you so much for speaking with me. Back to you, Jerome.
Thank you very much, our Jasmine Brown. The supporter said it's lit.
That's that new vocabulary.
Terminology used by younger people.
Yes.
But I do want to point out, though, that one of the criticisms of past conventions was that we saw a lot of older delegates. But I don't see that tonight.
Yeah, you can see in the crowd the vast majority of young people, and I think that shows that's a demonstration of some of these younger members of parliament, how they connect with the young people and attract them. And so there's a lot of excitement in this room. And you're quite correct. I think we were discussing during the break that in former times you would see everyone dressed in a suit and tie, listening to the speeches. Now people are having a good time. The speeches there's good content. They're shorter, and so people are enjoying it. But I think we're seeing the continued evolution and passing of
certainly
the baton, so to speak.
It's important to have that balance.
Oh yes.
And our next speaker tonight really is the balance. Senior party leader.
Yes.
She is a rock star in the PLP.
Oh yeah.
She is a force in Parliament. She has represented her constituency for one of the longest periods in cabinet. Again, a second generation politician. Her father was the late A.D. Hanna, a firecracker, a good friend of the late O.B. Wilscombe.
Yes.
She needs very little introduction, but of course she's the MP for Angliston, the Education Minister, Glenys Hanna Martin.
A fighter.
Stalwart councillors, delegates, my brothers and sisters, Angliston!
Can you tell me who's in the building?
It is so good to be in party convention. It is a joy to greet and meet and share time and exchange embraces and pleasantries and love with our fellow comrades from all across the country. This is indeed a time of camaraderie, fellowship, lively conversations, shared dialogue, vigorous debate, and intense discussions, perhaps even diversions in outlook, perhaps a heated contest or two. It is a sign that we are alive and well, that we possess vitality, that we are an activated force, and that at the end of it all, we come together as one strong political force, united in love and service. Our conventions are the dynamic space where we are refreshed and become more centered in our political belief system. In this forum, we celebrate our core values and enduring philosophical commitments, which we have made to the people through the generations. 70 years of beautiful history, not just of this party, but of the Bahamian people. So it's good to be in convention, to reorientate, refresh, regenerate, reinvigorate, and restore. This is where we are reinforced and realigned to the understanding that we are a principled and purpose-driven organization, a powerful political force, a main fighting machine for the progress and advancement of the Bahamian people. Here in convention, we recommit ourselves every day and in every way to stand up and fight for and protect the values that are entrenched in our political ideology. This is a requirement of our membership, and we must never lose sight of this obligation. It is sacred. It is sacred because so many lives were laid bare in the years-long resistance to oppression, the huge sacrifices, the examples of courageous action and bold positioning, which smashed the barriers for full human rights and opened up wide the path to freedom, a path upon which we all walk now and which many may take for granted. We must never compromise. We must never compromise or shirk from our responsibility to the upholding and honoring of this legacy and the integrity of our philosophical foundation. The PLP's interests are the interests of the Bahamian people. They are indistinguishable. And where there is divergence, we know that we have lost our way. We must never lose our way. In remembering the incredible legacy of this great party, I pay homage to the courageous men and women who have gone on to join the ancestors. They have left big shoes to fill. And I pause with great sadness to remember the late Obi Wilchcombe. He never missed a convention in more than 30 years. In fact, he served for many years as this party's chairman and organized many conventions. Indeed, he would have been here tonight if he could, but he cannot. I am grateful for his service, for his faithfulness to our cause, and for his unconditional love of his party, his unconditional love of West Grand Bahama and Bimini, his unconditional love of the Bahamian people, and his unconditional love of this country. Obi Wilchcombe was a true and loyal servant of the people, a patriot, and the Progressive Liberal Party and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is so much the better for his sacrifice and his love, and he is truly missed. I thank all of you proud warriors here assembled tonight. I love you. I love you. I thank you for your support, your prayers, your encouragement, your patience, and your friendship, your love, in what has been an utterly proud and privileged journey. I thank the Prime Minister for appointing me to his cabinet and subsequently to the portfolio of education in our nation. I am deeply humbled because it has been an awesome obligation and an incredible honor to have had the opportunity to contribute to the lives of an emerging generation with the intent and the hope that we will produce a generation of young people who will make our nation proud and take us victoriously into the future. The Progressive Liberal Party has always understood the fundamental importance of education and its meaning to the progress and future hope of our people, its meaning to our sovereignty and our prosperity as a people. It is perhaps not surprising that in the oppressive and racist regime prior to 1967, education was not encouraged. The denial of access to education was a deliberate policy to stultify the development of the human potential of the masses and to perpetuate inequity. In the 1962 general election, the party published, our party, a platform document called the Progressive Liberal Party Plan for Progress and Prosperity. In that document, this is 1962, the PLP declared, and I quote, "The neglect of the education of the children of the Bahamas and the indifference shown towards education reform have limited the economic opportunities, retarded social progress, and frustrated the cultural development of the Bahamian people." The urgency of the education agenda was quickly realized, and it was proclaimed that, and I quote, "An entirely new approach," this is 1962, "to the philosophy of education is necessary to begin the task of building a thoroughly educated community." The commitment to education has therefore been, from day one, a major pillar in the policy, infrastructure, and political focus of the Progressive Liberal Party. We began this political term, as did our forefathers, committing to an entirely new approach to the philosophy of education. We in the PLP are reminded of Proverbs chapter 22, verse 28, which admonishes, "Do not move the ancient landmark your fathers have set." Our wise and courageous ancestors have set the landmark, and we do not have the luxury to lose sight of this. It is interesting, indeed stunning, that the priorities expressed at that time, almost 50 years ago, was that our children should be literate, numerate, critical thinkers, diverse in talents, and a movement away from what they call the bias of academics, and that skills should also be developed for industries that would cause for the sustainability of our economy and advance the cause of our people. This is in 1962. We believe and we know that our children and young people are abounding in talent and innate gifts, and that they are filled with incredible potential. But we must also acknowledge that despite the consistent annual investments of millions of taxpayers' dollars in recent years, we are not garnering the yield that is expected to flow from such hefty investment. But over the years, the old landmark became less visible due to overgrowth. In 1962, 61 years ago, it was acknowledged that the arts, crafts, drama, music, public speaking were essential pursuits as part of the educational process. That's a 1962 PLP government in opposition. The foundation of education was laid many years ago. It was sound in conception and premised upon a belief in our young people and an understanding that how and what we do in our schools will be a reliable predictor for the kind of country we will reap. That our children are diverse and should be literate, articulate, confident, knowledgeable, creative and innovative, skilled and productive. The old landmark. Our task, however, was made somewhat more complex and more challenging by the fallout occasioned by the 2 years of lockdowns and the exclusion of students from the physical classroom. The fallout was multifaceted and included learning loss in a significant number of students across the board. This Davis administration is therefore immediately focused on two major pillars. The first was to get children back in the classroom. Our mission was dubbed Find Every Child. The response was overwhelming. Stakeholders, teachers, administrators, school board members, union officials, police, NGOs, among many others, took to the streets knocking on doors in school communities, interacting directly with parents, seeking out these children and finding them and getting them back in the classrooms. We are now seeing the highest levels of student attendance that we have seen in decades. We will soon establish a hotline for members of the public to call in when we see children wandering the streets during school hours. The second pillar has been dubbed Every Child Counts. This is a complex concept which is all-embracing. Fundamentally, it means that we will not accept any child falling between the cracks for any reason. We hereby commit that we will use our best endeavors in collaboration with teachers, parents, and school administrators to ensure that primary school children will enter high school functionally literate and ready to embrace the secondary level of education. To this end, a singular focus is brought to literacy and numeracy every day in the first term of the first three grades of primary school. And progress will be monitored through the GLAP test, which is a diagnostic test. We are in discussions with NGOs to cement partnerships with the Ministry of Education to work with the relevant schools and students to entrench literacy in our student population and to counter the effects of learning loss in junior and senior high school. Pull-out sessions are underway to provide remediation and reinforcement so that no young person leaves school functionally illiterate. The ministry has implemented a structured tracking system so that the individual performance of each child is monitored and, where necessary, appropriate interventions take place. Every Child Counts also asserts the right of equity to access, no matter where that child is situated in the archipelago. It also incorporates the elimination of the bias towards the dominant academic stream of leaning towards the inclusion of technical and vocational skills development. The curriculum reforms now implemented include a cluster program in junior high school with instruction in plumbing and carpentry, amongst other skills training, which will lead to certifications, and the soon-to-be-established Polytechnic Institute, technical and vocational, which will bring a diverse, exciting, and intense focus on skills development for our senior high school students and apprenticeship. We are pressing for more experiential learning and the integration of the creative arts into core subjects. Every Child Counts speaks to our special needs children and the determination to early identification and diagnosis and early intervention to assure the best possible outcomes for these children. To this end, we are finalizing a public-private partnership for testing and intervention. We are accelerating student placement and seeking to create as many classrooms as are needed to accommodate school-age students' special needs. Our most recent efforts are seen at Government High School, where a special education class was established in this academic year. The students are engaging in technical and vocational education and interacting and socializing and being included in the wider peer group at that school. The prospects are amazing. Every Child Counts relates to the physical environment in which our children are required to learn. The state of some of the public schools where we were expecting our children to learn was deplorable. In the last 2 years, tens of millions of dollars have been invested in the rehabilitation, redevelopment, reconstruction, and expansion of facilities. This is ongoing and will include a focus on science labs, lunch pavilions, and decent classroom space, and the development of sporting facilities. We are mandating safe campuses, and in collaboration with the Ministry of National Security, have developed school resource officers, specially trained Royal Bahamas police officers, who provide, in addition to their primary duties as police officers, instruction and mentorship, music classes for the thousands of young people nationwide.
Father, help your children.
Help your children.
And don't let them fall by the side of the road.
Yes, Jesus is love. I end by reaffirming that we understand clearly that the quality of education our children receive directly correlates to the quality of nation we will create. We know our young people are amazing. but that many encounter tremendous challenges long before they arrive at the school gates. We are committed to finding every child, and that in all that we do, it is a reaffirming of the value and importance of each and every child. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a great people. God has been good to us. The future lies ahead. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. PLP. PLP. 70 years. 70 years. PLP. 70 years. All the way.
All right, what an interesting speech there from Glennis Hannah Martin. She talked about the evolution of education, the way it was delivered in the country, gave us a history lesson tonight about the commitment to education by the PLP. Before we go into your question, I want us to certainly go straight on to our Sasha Lightbourne, who's standing by live on the floor of the convention with party supporters. Sasha?
All right, thank you so much, Jerome. While the convention may be going on in the inside, the party is going on the outside. We have a lot of people around us, but I'm here with Tyrone Fowler. Mr. Fowler has been a party supporter since 2001. And Mr. Fowler, just tell me, what does the PLP have to do to maintain this sort of excitement and camaraderie, even heading into not another election year, but into another year, heading towards that election?
Well, the party needs to reach out to the younger generation. They're the future. And if we don't put a plan in place to do just that, I think we could lose them, you know. And the PLP party is the greatest party for this country, and we must keep it strong.
Now, you told me you've been here since midday. How have things been going in your view?
Well, people seem to have been very excited. I attended the afternoon session, and I thought the panel, I call it discussion, where a number of the member of parliament spoke, and I thought they did an excellent job.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Fowler. We're going to turn it back over to you, Jerome.
Thank you very much, Sasha. Michael, we can't even attempt to have a conversation in here tonight. Bahamian music legend D-Mark is on the stage tonight. We're going to allow you to enjoy a bit of that entertainment before we get to the final speech of the night. D-Mark now on stage.
Cause this is junk and new one. You miss this party, boy, I telling you is you miss this party, boy. Let's go, PLP. Start jumping. D-Mark and Mega. Start jumping. For the PLP, then bring them, hand them up in the air. Push them, hand them. Bring them on, you already. Let's go. One, get ready. Two, get ready. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Hey. Woo! Oh yeah, oh yeah. If you're proud to be Bahamian, put your hands in the air. If you're proud to be a PLP, hands in the air. I see ya. Oh yeah. This your time to sing now. Get ready. Here we go. You ever see a dog barking at a parked car? You never see, hey, him barking if the car. You never see people talking about you if you. Guess what? But when you're trying to excel yourself, they got. Sing it for the other people. Sing it for the haters. Sing. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. The only time you can stand back is oh yeah, oh yeah. I say, oh no, no, oh you're looking good in here. I say the only time you can. Let me see what that is. Scott, everybody do your hands like this. Scott. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Scott, Scott.
she promised she go. Oh yeah. She run away. Man, she promised she be faithful. Oh yeah. She scheme on me. What she do? What she take? Oh yeah. Take my car. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Die. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What I shoulda do? I shoulda. I shoulda. Man, this girl. Man, and LA. And LA. Man, and LA. Let me see ya wine, 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 wine. Shake. Everybody go down. Come on. One more time. Let me see ya. Shake up yourself. Go down. Freeze. You having a good time? Make some noise. 1, 2, 3, let's go! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Let's go! You're all over the town, you're chasing down every crack and crevice you own. You're all over the place, you're trying to roam. You live in a sweet thing at home. I don't care if you live in life with you, if you live in Midtown, this ain't no discriminate. I want you to know when the karma come around, don't wear a frown, then throwing it on your parade. Say, don't you know that? Why you are looking for sugar? Oh yeah, say. Someone to taste your honey. Say, don't you know that? Why you are looking for sugar? Someone to taste your honey. Let's go. I see you looking, you looking. I see you looking, you looking. I see you looking, you looking. I spy, I spy. I see you looking, you looking. I see you looking, you looking. Good song, get it? I see you looking. I see you looking, you looking. Anybody who makes some more? Make some more. Oh yeah, oh yeah, hey. PLPs, make some noise! Hey! Hey! I see you looking, you looking. I see you looking, you looking. I see you looking, you looking. I spy with my little light. I see you looking, you looking. I see you looking, you looking. I see you looking. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I see you looking. This is a PLP, y'all. You know what time it is. Oh yeah. Let's go! Oh yeah! PLPs, make some noise!
If you're still enjoying yourself, make some noise! Up next, to introduce our final presenter for the night.
That was Bahamian music legend D-Mark. What an electric, amazing performance.
Yes.
Over the years, one of my great joys in coming to a convention is the entertainment, and tonight did not disappoint. So kudos and congratulations to the party.
Thank
All
you.
right. So we heard from Centerville MP Jomo Campbell earlier tonight. He talked about the accomplishments of the party, particularly about the record-breaking number of tourist arrivals this year. Deputy Prime Minister, who we are about to hear from next, has certainly been busy. We actually just got back from Los Angeles on a trip there with JetBlue's introduction of non-stop service. But I wonder how much of the party's efforts are tied to tourism, and how are those efforts different from the last administration and how it was leveraging brand Bahamas?
Well, our economy is driven by tourism. It's the largest segment of our economy. It will be that way for the foreseeable future. I think what is different now is we have the economy is open. Tourists are coming in record numbers. coming out of COVID-19, we see a bit of a different appetite of the tourists. They want the more local experience. They perhaps want a smaller resort. Perhaps they want to stay in a local accommodation, more of an experience than the large resort. That presents us with an opportunity to promote more Bahamians getting into the tourism industry as owners.
And I have to ask you this though, because as the tourist dollar comes in and they go in the hotels and they do this, what is the government doing to have more of that trickle down to the rest of the economy? Because the tourism sector is doing well, but other sectors of the economy and people are still hurting in some ways.
Well, what we have to do is continue to promote entrepreneurship in the industry, financing small resorts, individuals who want to take advantage by doing Airbnb, getting involved perhaps in the transportation, water sport industry. This year we have legislated a new tourism development cooperation, which will be tasked with promoting the tourism industry, promoting entrepreneurship in the tourism industry.
The answer really is ownership.
Ownership, diversification within the tourism industry. So when we get the intelligence from the tourism, the tourism professionals, that individuals, they have an appetite now to go to our islands. And so that presents opportunities for owners of small resorts to get more of a piece of that pie.
Interestingly, though, you talk about ownership, and one of the biggest impediments to doing business in the Bahamas is the difficulty with doing business in the Bahamas. It's a very difficult place to do business. Is there anything in this upcoming agenda that's going to help to lift some of that red tape and make it a little easier?
Yeah, we want to put more of our processes online. We have the digitization program that we continue to roll out. And you will see us, we are proposing a customer service department, so to speak, for business license. More education for the public, people who want to get into business, on what the law is, what the processes are. Basically just more help, more information, more education.
I can see from behind me and from our vantage point that our final speaker of the night is about to come up on stage.
I wanted to make one point related to what Glennis Hanneman had to say. She spoke about in 1962, there were challenges in education in terms of access. We've experienced in 2021, 2022, another significant challenge in terms of learning loss. And I think she reiterated that just as 50 years ago, 60 years ago, we had to face that challenge, we have to face it again, and we're up to the task.
And I think the effect of the learning loss, we still have not seen the last or the back of it yet.
Not yet.
Because there are still students who are still trying to recover from that,
Exactly.
even those who have graduated and left school.
Exactly right.
Well, tonight's keynote address is coming from the party's deputy leader. He's the second in command. He's the deputy prime minister. He's also the minister of tourism. He represents a family island constituency. He is a returning member of parliament, having first served in opposition, now in government. He carries a tremendous responsibility, but also comes from a very vibrant constituency that is entrenched in tourism. We take you now to tonight's keynote address, the Honorable Chester Cooper, the Minister for Tourism and our Deputy Prime Minister, and also the Member of Parliament for Exuma and Ragged Island. Let's take you to the stage now.
PLP! Party leader! Stalwart councillors! PLPs! It's been 70 years, and the fight never dies. Let's hear it for Tyrone from Exuma. And D-Mac, he from Exuma too. This is a wonderful night. A great night to be a Bahamian. And an even better night to be a PLP. It's a wonderful night to be a member of this great party. And even a more wonderful night, as I cannot fully express how much I appreciate all of you for keeping me secure in the deputy leadership of this legendary organization.
Gold rush, let them see the gold rush. Bahamas gone.
PLP. Unopposed, I thank you. And thank you for re-electing our beloved leader. Unopposed. I want to thank God, my protector, my provider, the light, the truth, and the way. I feel grateful to God tonight. I want to tell you why. When it seemed darkest in life, when it seemed like there was no direction, He pulled me forward. The road would look rocky, but the good Lord always saw me through. I am grateful. I want to thank my beautiful wife, Cecilia. For always standing by me, for making life better in so many ways. You know, they tell me I talk a lot about my wife. But forgive me, I feel blessed. I can't help it. You never really understand life as a man until God gives you a good woman, you know? And she makes me look good.
You once, twice, 3 times a lady, and I love you.
I got a feeling, Pencil, tonight's gonna be a good night. I want to thank my children, Chelsea, Isaac, and Chloe. I know you're watching and you don't see me as much as you'd like because I work so much. But know that I am doing this for you and Bahamian children everywhere. We do this for all the Bahamian children who depend on the hard work of their mothers and fathers to build up a nation they can carry forward. I want to thank the magnificent people of Exuma and Ragged Island, who I represent inside and outside the House of Assembly. Exuma, you know you're my heartstring. You know you're where my navel string was buried. On Ragged Island, you know I will never forget you. But I love you all. And I work tirelessly for you every day. I'm always fighting for you. There are no finer people on God's earth than the people of Exuma and Ragged Island. And I want to thank my fellow MPs and cabinet colleagues. You know, this work takes collaboration and coordination. You know, this ain't easy work, but it's essential work. So for every smear, every insult, every nasty snare, every roadblock and frustration, there are 100 stories of success of people we help. of people we transform through diligent work that will transform 100 more. They sometimes get heavy. It sometimes get hard. The work is endless, and the commitment is absolute. But it is worth it. To stare a better future, it is work worth doing, and love worth loving. That's what the work of the PLP is all about. And I thank you for your love, your support, for your encouragement, for your collaboration, and for your efforts. This is a team effort. And I thank you all for pulling in the same direction together. And I want to thank our leader, our Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Edward Brave Davis. I thank him for his faith in me. I thank him for his wisdom. I thank him for his leadership. And I thank him for his constant commitment to making the lives of every Bahamian better. His heart is with the people. He is kind and he is generous. He gives of his resources and his time. He knows where he came from and he never ever forgets. And that's why we love him. He taught me to have more patience, because I don't always have a lot of that in large supply. And he exemplifies that conflicts can more often than not be sorted. But being gentle doesn't mean being weak. And I want to thank all of you for what you do. I want you to know, PLPs, that I see you. I see you in West Grand, Bahama, and Bimini, working to keep the seat in the hands of the PLP the way our dearly departed brother Obi Wilchcombe would have wanted. I saw how much he loved you, and I see how much you love him still. We're going to keep the momentum in West Grand, Bahama, and Bimini. We're going to open the government complex in Obi's name. We're going to open the school, and we're going to make improvements as we bring major investments to lift West End and Bimini and all of Grand Bahama to new economic heights. We're going to upgrade the clinic in Bimini. We're going to get that new airport going. I see you, PLPs. I see you walking the ground, talking to the people. I see you committing yourself to this party because you believe so deeply. I see you making the meals. I see you frying the fritters and organizing the meetings. I see you manning the phones, setting up the events. I see you parking the cars and making sure the wheels of this organization turn. I see you offering free legal advice, making sure the books are straight. I see you making sure that the lights are on and the lights are turned off when everybody leaves. I see you, PLPs. I see you cleaning up and doing the little things that you think no one noticed. I see you. And I know why you do it. Because I see you in me. You do it because you need to be a part of something bigger than you. Something that you believe in. And you need to contribute to the cause, whatever it takes. I see you fighting for our party. I see you connected to our soul. And that the cause of doing so is our great 70-year-old progressive liberal party. And so I thank you, all of you, the strong women and prayer warriors all across the country who fight for me, who pray for me each day. Mary Deems and Val Ferguson from Exover. Loretta Miss P. Jones and Daphne Big Mama Nixon in Grand Bahama. Leanna Clark and Reverend John Newton in Andros. Sister Anna Astrobus in Eleuthera. Elder Almeida Roll and Deaconess Autry Russell in Bimini. And all those all across the islands of the Bahamas who fight and pray for our PLP every day. And I want you to understand, this party is not a movement cobbled together by the centers and the old guard dressed up in a new package. This party ain't no coalition of people who can't agree on what they rally around other than anger, spite, and dejection. This party ain't no alliance who are only allies when opportunity appears at hand. This is the Progressive Liberal Party.
PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way, so sad, so done.
This is the first and oldest political party in the Bahamas, born under the yoke of oppression and racism. The PLP is a party for all people, not just one set of people, not just one class of people, not just one gender of people. We are a party of fighters who fight for the liberation and progress of all people. And my message tonight is that though the battle might change, though we are 70 years old and fighting, the fight never dies. The fight never dies. The founding principles of the PLP were formed in the conviction that the destiny of the Bahamian people is to build a country in which every citizen can obtain a higher standard of living in the promise of greater social and political freedom. The PLP, our PLP, was formed with core values and the abiding belief that it is dedicated to the service of all Bahamians and not to a privileged few, and that we would prove our superiority over all other parties. We are the party that has fought tirelessly, that continues to fight, and that always will be in the corner of the Bahamian people. That's why we fight. Throughout our history, for 3/4 of a century, the PLP has been at the forefront of every battle for a better Bahamas, facing numerous challenges and adversities too. We are the party that fights for the values that matter most to our nation and to its people. The PLP had to fight for majority rule. It was a fight they told us was hopeless. It was a fight that spilled rivers of blood into the streets of other nations. But our revolution was so profound, it was virtually bloodless. It wasn't an easy journey, but our commitment to the justice and equality led us to victory. We stood up for the rights of the majority, ensuring that every Bahamian had a voice in their own future when they told us to sit down and shut up. We stood up. We still stand. The PLP had to fight for independence. We understood that true sovereignty is the foundation of any nation's self-determination. We persevered in the struggle to liberate our country from colonial rule. And on July 10, 1973, we achieved that dream. And when the colonialists and their loyalists fled, we had to build our nation from scratch with our own hands. And they told us we would fail. We built our public service. And we Bahamianized it. We electrified our nation. We expanded our education system. PLPs had to fight for that too. Men PLPs, women PLPs, black PLPs, white PLPs, mulatto PLPs, and every PLP in between. We fight, and the fight never dies. Still today we fight. These former colonialists who tried to strip away our financial services industry that we built. We stood up for the interests of the Bahamas in the global arena. We defended our right to self-governance and economic development, even when faced with undue pressure from international forces. The PLP had to fight for equity and prosperity. It is us who have consistently championed policies. It is us that promote social justice. It is us who advance economic growth and opportunities for all Bahamians. Because we believe in a Bahamas where every citizen can share in the nation's prosperity. We remain dedicated to the principles that have defined our party throughout its history. We are the party of action. We are the party of progress. We are that party that never shies away from a challenge. They said national insurance couldn't be done. But we did it. And we're going to protect it. They said the Defense Force shouldn't and couldn't be done. They called it Pinling's Little Army. But we did it anyhow. They said national health insurance couldn't be done. But we did it. They said the College of the Bahamas couldn't be done. But we did that too. And then they said the University of the Bahamas was a stretch. And they say that couldn't be done. But we did it. We've always been about progress and building on it. We've always been about change. We've always been about driving change. We have the instrument right here in the PLP for generational change, and that is what we will do. The PLP will expand national health insurance to include catastrophic care. The PLP will reform the marijuana laws. The PLP will reform our mining laws and create a mining authority. That is what we will do. The PLP will finish the job. We'll finish the job on gender equality. The PLP will finish the job. We will finish the job on our national development plan. The PLP will finish our commitment and our blueprint for change. We are finishers, you see. And if you want finishers, if you need fighters, then you're looking for the PLP.
Can you tell me who's in the building? PLP. Say who's in the building? PLP.
The PLP will institute prison reforms. We want a humane prison while making sure that those who go there and who should go there come out better and more rehabilitated than they were before. The PLP is strengthening the judicial system. The PLP is strengthening our police force and our defense force. The PLP is facing the scourge of crime and gangs head on. The PLP will transform downtown, and I guarantee that you will be proud. The PLP will help businesses grow organically with support from the BAIC, the SPDC, and the new TDC. The PLP will empower Bahamians. The PLP will transform this nation's aviation infrastructure. The PLP will be leaders in the carbon credit markets. The PLP will have a national food plan. The PLP always is at the forefront of the labor movement, and will continue to strengthen workers' rights in this country. The PLP will continue to fight with the workers, and there will continue to be solidarity forever.
Can you tell me who's in the building?
PLP. The PLP has actively engaged with and sought to empower young Bahamians, recognizing the importance of generational change. We'll continue to bring our youth along every step of the way. To abandon our youth is to abandon our future. And the PLP will continue to diversify the economy, developing the blue, the green, and the orange economy. The PLP will continue to nurture the international film and TV production industry to benefit our young creatives. That is what we will do.
Gold rush, let them see the gold rush. Bahamas gone. PLP.
And Elizabeth, the PLP will usher in an era of renewable energy never ever seen in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Because PLPs, we fight for a better Bahamas, and that fight never dies. The fight never dies in agriculture with our Golden Yoke program. The fight never dies in housing with our rent-to-own program and our work to build hundreds of affordable homes. The fight never dies in tourism with more than 7.2 million arrivals earlier this year, shattering the all-time records. With an increase in spending, Peter, with more jobs and more money in more pockets, in the pockets of vendors and taxi drivers and hair braiders and business owners. The fight never dies. I gotta tell you, today was a record too. Tomorrow is a record. Next week is a record. Next month is a record. Next quarter is a record. That's why we fight.
PLP. PLP. PLP.
The fight never dies in aviation. With the massive increase in airlift, with the opening of new airports in Great Harbour Key and in Ryegard Island, with 2 airport deals signed, one in Bimini and one in Grand Bahama, with 2 new airports funded, one in Exuma and one in North Eleuthera. The fight never dies, PLPs. The fight never dies in our social relief with the increase in minimum wage by $50 a week. It's for our people, that's why we fight. The fight never dies in investments with more than $7 billion of new investments approved in 2 years. The fight never dies in Grand Bahama with $1.5 billion of new investments, with the approval and expediting of the Grand Bahama Shipyard, the South Riding Point, and the Carnival Port in East Grand Bahama, the Eden Resort in West Grand Bahama. The fight never dies in Grand Bahama. Exuma. Exuma, you there? I can hear you, Exuma. The fight never dies in Exuma. The fight never dies in Exuma. With full employment, $1.2 billion in investments, with airports, roads, a new school, BTVI coming, economic prosperity. The fight never dies in Exuma.
Oh no, we didn't know. Say, someone sweet like this. Oh no, we didn't know. Like someone sweet like that.
The fight never dies in our judiciary with 5 new Supreme Court justices coming. The fight never dies in education, Angliston, with our free breakfast program. The fight never dies as we look to create more entrepreneurs, particularly women entrepreneurs. We bring them into industries that they normally wouldn't enter, like construction. We fight for our women too. The fight never dies. The fight never dies as we move to eradicate shanty towns and we continue our national immigration policy. Saudi Lutra. The PLP's legacy in Bahamian politics and Bahamian governance reflects its dedication to creating a more equitable and flourishing nature for future generations. So if you want a fighter in your corner, if you want a party that always stand up for what is right, if you want a party that works tirelessly to build a better future for the Bahamas and Bahamians, then you need the PLP on your side. Our commitment to the people of this nation is unwavering. Our determination to create a brighter tomorrow is unyielding. And our resolve to fight for the betterment of the Bahamas is resolute. Together, as a united force, I say a united force and a determined force. Did I say a united force? We will continue to face the challenges that lie ahead of us. And we will strive for a future that is prosperous. A future that is just and full of opportunities for all Bahamians. Now make no mistake, we're deeply entrenched in a critical battle. It's a battle that determines the very essence of our nation. We are fighting day in and day out to ensure we get another term. That's why we fight. We're fighting day and night to get another term under the leadership of Philip Brave Davis. That's why we fight. We want to keep the country out of the hands of those aimlessly meandering, uninspiring, conflicted, self-serving, self-interested, and ineffective free national movement.
Out and stay out.
That's why the fight never dies. You see, we want to be sure that you don't get bamboozled by magic bean peddlers and carnival barkers. We want to be sure. Carolyn, we want to be sure. We want to be sure that you don't get swing by slicksters, poets, and actors. That's why we fight. That's why the fight never dies. We fight to continue to propel ourselves into a new era of prosperity and order under the leadership of our PLP. Our fight is to ensure that the Bahamas welcomes everyone, from the affluent to the underprivileged, from the business owners to the struggling mothers caught in the cycle of poverty. We fight so that no souls in this nation are left behind, whether they are family islanders, whether they're from Bimini or Grand Bahama, or whether they're Nasuvians. That's why the fight never dies. We are determined to ensure that special interests do not monopolize our resources, leaving the rest of the nation to live on scraps. That's why the fight never dies. In the Bahamas, led by the PLP, there is a place at the table for everyone. Like you, and you, and you, and you. That's why the fight never dies. This is the vision that has built our great party, a vision of inclusivity, representation, suffrage, and equality. We were born of progress. We have built this nation and are emblematic of change. That's what our fight has always been about. That's why we're always fighting for you. It is the fighting spirit of the PLP that will continue to light the way forward for our great nation. And our fight never dies. And like the good book say, let's not get weary in well-doing, PLP. This ain't no time to get tired. This ain't no time to get weary. This ain't no time to stop fighting. Because we're going all the way. We're going all the way.
Mash them party up, it's PLP full non-stop. Hey!
That's why the fight never dies. Because we are going all the way. PLP! 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 Thank you. God bless you.
Give it up. PLPs, are you out there?
Empower, move forward together, gonna build. Empower, move forward together with the PLP. All the way.
Listen, we are following this.
Our keynote speaker for the night, Deputy Prime Minister and Tourism Minister Chester Cooper, his theme for the evening, his speech's theme, the fight never dies, giving a comprehensive, even historical view, but bringing it all home to aviation and tourism.
Yes, we're celebrating 70 years as a party this year, and I think it's a call to action by all PLPs, from the leadership down to the supporters. Yes, we're 70 years old. But our mission is just as important today as it was when the PLP was founded.
All right. We want to check in with our Sasha Lightbourne, who has been on the convention floor. We're going to go to her in just a minute. But Senator Halkitis, before we get to that, I want to step out a little bit on a limb tonight and say, for me, Pia Glover-Roll was she took the show home. She was the best speaker of the night, I thought. From my perspective, I thought she was short, yet comprehensive, and she kept the crowd engaged as well throughout the evening.
I think she's found her calling as Minister of Public Service and Labor. Seems like a natural fit. She's aggressive, she's confident, she's poised, she has a passion for labor.
We're going to cut you for just a minute, swing over to our Sasha Lightbourne, who's down on the floor of the convention center. Sasha.
Thank you so much, Jerome. We're here with Golden Gates MP Pia Glover-Roll, one of the speakers for tonight. Mrs. Glover-Roll, just tell us, what was the feedback energy like as you gave that speech tonight?
The energy was, the room was ablaze. That's the best way I could put it. The room was ablaze. The energy was pumping from every side of the room. I think, like I said in my speech, PLPs are happy to be back in convention. We haven't had a convention in a long time, and people were just happy to see each other, and of course they wanted to hear the message from their members of parliament, and we delivered tonight, and I'm looking forward to the delivery tomorrow night, because we were able to report on what has happened in the last 2 years. We have been able to report the progress that has been made, the progress that we are building on, but the fact is, in 2 years we've done a tremendous amount of work.
Now I think one of the messages that stood true throughout all of the speeches was unity. Why does the party have to come out of this convention unified?
Because in unity there's strength, and we have to remain strong. We're only halfway there. We have had some bumps. We lost a member of our team unexpectedly. That was crippling, but we had to keep going. We had to keep governing. We had to keep leading. We are obviously in a democratic process in our convention, and some people have chosen sides, and when the sides have decided on who the victor will be, we have to come back together and become whole again within that moment, because we have to continue to drive forward the progress that we are speaking of.
Now talk to me about tomorrow. Tomorrow there's going to be a chairmanship race. What does tomorrow for you as an MP look like once all of the elections within the party are done?
Tomorrow is a typical day in a PLP convention of voting. This time around, we only have the chairmanship, the national vice chairs, and the leadership council. So that's only 3 positions that are being contested. And of course, today on the ground, it was buzzing, people were campaigning, and that's the beauty of the democracy within the PLP. This is training ground, these conventions and the campaigning for positions within the party is training ground for when we get to the big dance, which is election day. So tomorrow, we will come out with a new chairman. We will continue on our path to building a better Bahamas for Bahamians. As I said in my speech, it's always about the people for the PLP.
All right, we have one more question for you, Ms. Glover. I see Golden Gates is in there heavy. I've seen the shirts. Talk to me a little bit about the shirts, because Golden Gate stands out in the crowd in those light blue shirts.
They like to throw a little remark, say, I's a model, and I into fashion. So while I'm doing the work of a leader, which I am, while I'm doing the work of a member of parliament, which I am, while I'm doing the work of a minister of the government, which I am, I got to make sure we look cute too. Golden Gates was in the building tonight.
All right, y'all heard it first from the Golden Gates MP, Mrs. Pia Glover-Roll herself, also the newly minted Labor Minister as well for public service. We're turning it back over to you, Jerome.
Thank you very much, and tell my good friend Pia I said hello, and you're right, she's a model, and certainly she said Golden Gates brought it.
Oh yes.
As I said, Pia Glover-Roll was a standout for me tonight. I thought she delivered a great speech. She connected, and you heard even more on the floor tonight when she spoke about Sasha Lightboard. And that message of unity, why is that so important? It's building on what she said.
It's very, very important because, again, at conventions, all positions become open, there's a contest, and sometimes, it gets, people become enthusiastic about the candidate that they support. It's important that at the end of the day, at the end of the contest, we all come together as one and move forward. And I think what the message that came from all of the speakers tonight was, we're celebrating 70 years, the party has a tremendous legacy, but we can't sit on our laurels, we can't rest on our laurels. We recognize that the work is not done, there are many challenges that continue, and we must address those. And part and parcel of it is communicating with the people.
Who or what stood out for you? I mean, I think we agreed on Pia Glover as the overall standard. What else stood out for you tonight, or who else stood out for you?
The Minister Hannah Martin speaking about the fact that, the party's commitment to education as a means to uplift people. And that from as far back as 1962, when women received the right to vote, education was at the forefront of the Progressive Liberal Party platform. In 2023, all of these years later, education remains the means by which people can uplift and advance themselves. The challenges are different, but the mission remains the same. Progressiveness and elevation through education. So all in all, I think it was tonight, it showed, yes, we're celebrating 70 years, but by the showcasing of many of the young MPs, it shows that you have these young people who have taken the baton to take the party into the future.
I like what you said. The challenges are different, but the mission continues. Our Jasmine Brown is also standing by tonight. We're going to check in one final time with her from on the convention. Jasmine, good night for the final time.
Hi, Jerome. I'm here with the co-chair of the convention, Quinton Lightbourne, and he was one of the people that made it all happen. So I want to ask you, Quinton, what went into making this night happen?
Well, definitely. There's a lot of planning that went into all of this happening. As we look at it, the PLP convention is something that we want to re-energize the base. We want to show the Bahamian public what we're doing as a party, and we was able to do that. The energy level and excitement was there from our first speaker straight to our end. As you can see, people are still here. The enthusiasm, the energy is it's just a groundswell, and so we're happy about it. A lot of planning and preparation.
And you are a very young person in the party, and you got a big opportunity here. People I spoke to outside said that they like to see the young people in the crowd and also the young people on the stage. You opened it up tonight. What do you think that also means?
Well, it shows at the Progressive Liberal Party we're about propelling our young people. Once you have the talent, once you're dedicated and love this country, which I know there are thousands of Bahamians out there like that, the Progressive Liberal Party is here to help, and they will help you and push you, because this is what we're all about. We have the talent as millennials and other generations, so we can do it, and we've been given wonderful opportunities, and we won't disappoint. And tonight shows you that we are capable and ready to do what we need to do.
When the Progressive Liberal Party obviously came into office, there was a big push for women in leadership. What do you think about that, and where the party is headed in that direction?
But definitely, this Progressive Liberal Party is a very inclusive party. But women, as you can see, some of our best speakers tonight were women. We have some dynamic women in our House of Assembly, in the upper and lower house, and it shows that we're on the forefront. We're showing not just the country, but the world, that we're inclusive and diverse as a party and as a people.
How did it feel to be on the stage tonight and actually open the show?
Well, definitely, it felt very good. It was an opportunity that I think that I was prepared for and ready to finally step into that moment. And I think it was very good, and I'm just fortunate enough that I was able to be given that opportunity tonight.
Well, thank you for speaking with us, and thank you for inviting us to be here tonight.
Thank you.
So, back to you, Jerome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, our Jasmine Brown on the floor tonight in her final appearance with us. Of course, she'll be back tomorrow evening. Certainly has been a night to remember.
Yes.
Any final thoughts from you tonight as we wrap up?
Very exciting night. The audience was energized, but I think the message that permeated throughout was, yes, we've had some successes in these first 2 years, but there's a lot of work left to be done so that the economic benefits that we're seeing from the recovery of the economy not trickles down, but flows down so that everybody can benefit. And I think once you recognize that, this gives us an opportunity, this convention, to reconnect with supporters, listen to what they have to say, and so as we reset and refocus on the remaining years in this term, we can address the issues that are forefront on the minds of the Bahamian people.
All right, so tomorrow's convention is really more about progress, the way forward. What's next tonight was a time of reflection, and so tonight's speakers, tomorrow's speakers and themes will really be about the party's thrust forward, and we'll be listening out for what are the initiatives and things that will be included in those speeches and those presentations. Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Of course,
it's been a
tonight
pleasure.
is certainly a night to remember for so many members and supporters, as well as first-time PLP leaders to the convention stage. We want to go now where our Jasmine Brown, before we go, to say thank you to our Jasmine Brown as well as our Sasha Lightbourne, who were on the floor tonight providing us with those who provided us with that great commentary and those great interviews from on the floor tonight. We really appreciate that. Michael Alkides, Senator Michael Alkides, thank you very much for your insightful commentary. Always good to have you on the desk, whether we're here or in studio, but thank you so much for bringing that perspective to the broadcast. So thank you very much, and all the best to you.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
All right. So that's going to do it for tonight's broadcast. On behalf of my entire team, my guest here, Senator Michael Alkides, Jasmine Brown, Sasha Lightbourne, and the entire RTV, Our News team, we thank you so much for joining us tonight. Remember, we're back here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, again, for the final night of the convention, preceded, of course, by Our News at 7 and 7:30. Until tomorrow night, I'm your host, Jerome Sawyer. For all of us, have a great night. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.